Hey guys, what's up? Travis Kessner with TK Lighting Design. I'm going to show you guys what lighting design is and how to achieve a look like this. You're probably pretty used to seeing most kitchens and they have maybe six recessed cans, maybe eight, and a lot of times it looks something like this here. Let's get rid of this. Let's let go of the lighting design concept here and we'll put in what looks like uh, how a recessed downlight, your typical downlight would perform. And that's usually what most homes look like. And that feels okay, but what you're seeing there is glare and you get lots of light into the space. However, 90% of the light is lost within the first 3 to 4 feet of leaving that fixture. And then also it keeps you up at night because it's sitting there. Our bodies actually pick up overhead light and it's uh, telling us to produce low amounts of serotonin and adrenaline and keeping our bodies active, awake, and alert. Where when it gets warmer and it actually tells your body to start producing melatonin and get ready for sleep. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's the typical lighting layout. Those are about, $50 per can light, and that's the most inexpensive way to do it. However, if you want the space to look and feel very different when you come into it, it costs a bit more and it takes a little bit more design effort, design input, thought about the product, thought about the optics, and also a willing contractor who's willing to modify certain trim installations, conceal the light, uh, do the extra effort that it takes to make a real lighting design come to life. And right now, I'm just going to kind of show you to give you some ideas of how maybe you could create this or bring it into your space if that's something that you want to do. So with lighting design, something that we do is a technique called layering. And the layering is where you layer in the lights one on top of another. So as you notice, there's an underglow here. There's actually a company that makes side emitting tape light. And I've used this and I've done this where you take the side emitting tape light so it would stick to the wall and it creates a glow. What you can do is have a millwork company get a trim and route out that piece of trim work so you can conceal it behind the trim and it would go right underneath there. And I don't sell product. We charge for design services. That's how we make our money. And then we specify out the product and draw up lighting plans and draw all this up so the contractor, homeowner, electrical contractor can execute on those plans. Uh, so I'm not gonna lie, you end up spending more money for the quality lighting design versus just putting in can lights and flooding the space with light. So something like that tape light that you put in underneath there and have it has a per linear foot cost. It also has a spot where you need to mount a driver. And then, excuse me, uh, then with this many layers of light, we would also suggest controls. But the effect that you're getting is a glow from the trim and you're drawing attention, you're accenting the shiplap, the wood shiplap underneath. So you're bringing in vertical light into the space, not just flooding it. And you're not just thinking about horizontal foot candles. If you look at the floor, It's not super bright. That's not where we interact. We interact within the 3D space. And then up here, you have the wood beams. So that you can actually achieve with a different type of product. And again, that's linear tape light. And that would be something like an angle cove mounted light, maybe a mini, so you can conceal it. You can see that's only 0.4 inches, 0.44, 0.44. And you would really tuck it up against the bottom of the beam. And you would also want the contractor to put a piece of trim there to conceal it so you're not seeing it. And it's being aimed upwards, so it's lighting up the ceiling and you're getting the light to bounce off the ceiling. Also, in here, you can see, I'll show you here, we'll find the lighting design. So we'll delete some of this overhead light so you can see. We'll also delete the linear light above. Oh, got a little light leakage here in the program. But you can see you can have little mini puck lights if you want mounted inside the cabinetry to draw attention, decorative plateware, things that you want to show off. We also have the same thing over here and over here, and it kind of creates a glow, and then you can leave the lights that are underneath on for a guide light, say when it's like nighttime and you don't want to wake yourself up with overhead lights. That's the point of layering and having controls. That way they turn off automatically. And then if you want to come into the kitchen, you can see without waking yourself up because you have the lights mounted at 4 foot or lower, or the accent lights are very, very low, so they're not waking your system up. And again, just to show you the difference, so you can see a lighting layout looks very uniform. You have glare, and you don't really notice the details very much. You don't really notice the wood shiplap. They kind of overpower the beams, and there's no attention to the cabinetry. And there's lots of different ways to do this. And instead of using, even if you're doing general downlighting, instead of using the light source that's underneath the ceiling and you get that hard glare, you can use something where the optics are tucked back up in and you're just shining light down, getting functional light onto the work plane. Now, this is a program for those of you who are interested called Twin Motion. Twin Motion is actually free for creatives or businesses starting out. And it's a very helpful platform for getting to visualize what your project's going to look like. Now, making it come to life is a whole another story. Just so you know, what we do is create plans after we look at all this for the contractor to use, electrical contractor to use. It has all the lighting marked up with types, has different layers of light. You just look at this bedroom, it has recessed multiples, it has wall sconces, it has a ceiling cove, a step light, a glow from this cutout in the wall, pendant lights by the bed. This is an arch ceiling, So we're actually doing the same effect where we're lighting up the arch ceiling and then bringing in vertical light on the other side to the walls. Their facade, we're lighting up the front facade. We're not just doing can lights everywhere, but it's layers of light. So it has controls and adjustability to be able to change because light is changing. The plans usually come with inspirational concepts. So you can see lighting the arch wood ceiling there. The recessed multiples, adjustable. Optics are tucked back up in so you're not getting that glare. There's the second floor. And then anything that requires detail, we usually show that detail and mounting heights along with where to mount certain fixtures to get the desired effect. This one shows the cove light, and the contractor will need to put some type of trim there to conceal that light to make it a finished look. We have exterior elevations, and then also followed up with wiring and zones. That way they know which fixtures are supposed to turn on as a group. And then at the end, you have a fixture schedule with all the types and parts called out. Now, there's a lot of do-it-yourselfers out there, and obviously wouldn't have this big of a home, but it might at least give you a guide to thinking about how you want to light your space and some creative ways to do that by using purposeful fixtures, optics, placement, adjustability, everything that goes in to create a completely different feeling than the typical lighting layout. That's it for today. I hope that helped give you guys a better understanding of the difference between a lighting layout and lighting design, and helps you out in your future projects and thinking about different ways to light a space.